welcome to or welcome back to Total Spotfest. This is JJ. That right there, that's Jamie Faulkner. We're coming right back at you with another episode of Total Spotfest. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening as we gear up for tonight and tomorrow's extravaganza at Agnes. Ooh, I like that. Journey Pro's two-night debut of their new arena, headlined by Bussy versus the Howletts for the GCW tag team titles. Journey Pro's announcing a champion, and boy, are we amped. I'm amped. Jamie, are you amped?
Understatement of the city. Understatement.
Woo! It's going to be an event. It's going to be fantastic. We hope those of you listening, if you are in or near Kansas City, you're planning on joining us. If not, of course, check it out on Twitch at twitch.tv/journey2anarchy. But thank you for checking in with us. We're gonna catch you up on the week that was in wrestling. So,
yeah.
If you are watching us on YouTube, as always, comment, like, subscribe, all the things down below. Follow us on Twitter at Total Spotfest. Jamie, how's your week been? Other than getting amped for Journey Pro, I know it's
it's been crazy. I'm really looking forward to Journey Pro. Like that's all I got right now. Lots of softball and lots of wrestling here shortly. It's gonna make me very, very happy.
Softball and wrestling, it makes the world go around. It's kind of like that shirt that reminded me so much of Kevin, or that hat. Ska and professional wrestling are the only acceptable forms of culture or whatever.
Art.
Yeah. It was like, yeah. So Jamie's the same things at pro wrestling and softball. So we did a preview show with Chris. If you have not heard it already, you want to get amped for tonight, check it out. I'll link it over this way, right over here somewhere. Hit the little balloon. Great little preview. We talk about the Missouri Athletic Commission. So it didn't get too hot. It got a little hot. We had to cut some of it, but well, what was released is not too hot. So check it out.
You guys think it wasn't very hot. That's all that matters.
Yeah. We went pretty deep off the camera. Just saying. But
we sure shit did. It was worth it.
A great little interview. Check it out. Chris is as an ownership, he's got a very poignant stake in the matter. So definitely check that out. Plus, like if you haven't heard about the card for tonight, first of all, welcome to your first time at Total Spotfest. I'm JJ.
Yes, thank you. Please stay. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're great. I'm amazing. He's okay.
We went over the full card. We talked about everything. Fantastic stuff happening. And we no doubt will have some sort of recap, I'm sure, next week. So be on the lookout for that.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
All right, we have some business to attend to first things first, okay?
Let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah. So over the weekend was one of the four major pay-per-views from Impact Wrestling, Rebellion. You should be seeing in the middle of the screen here our pay-per-view records, because our Total Spotfest pay-per-view championship, which you don't have handy right now, is on the line. So Jamie's putting that sucker up. JJ's trying to prove that god-awful Detroit Lions of a record. Sorry, Lions fans. Get back in respectability. And if nothing else, keep it away from the tyrant known as Megan. So Rebellion, I didn't watch live. I bought it, but I was doing a bunch of things, so I ended up watching it like 2 or 3 hours after it aired. But I did watch it. It wasn't as good as their first major pay-per-view this year, but it was very solid. It was a very solid pay-per-view. So I'm just gonna run through it real quick here. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time going through every match, but we're gonna talk about what we picked and who won and did all that. So one of the oldest adages in wrestling, as you very well know, is card subject to change, right?
Absolutely.
Well, that applied to this pay-per-view very much so. So it was announced, and it was supposed to be the first match was going to be, it wasn't, I don't think it was booked to be the first match, but what wouldn't be a first match was Eddie Edwards not taking on Jonathan Gresham as he was supposed to, but rather filled in by Chris Bay. So Eddie Edwards versus Chris Bay. And that plays a role because I chose Eddie Edwards. And both Jamie and Megan chose Jonathan Gresham. Now, what does that tell you? Somebody was definitely wrong on that. And it could be all three of us were wrong. But I was kind of right because Eddie Edwards did beat Chris Bay. But after we talked, and the whole time I was like, that's a bit much. So we threw this. We crossed this match off. This match didn't count towards anything. So it's just not fair. It's not right. So
it is 100% not right.
It was not right at all. Still seeing Chris Bay. I love Chris Bay so much. I hope to God we see him soon. I think that he's making his Revolver debut in Las Vegas show. I think Vegas show, maybe Ohio. Yeah. I think it's Vegas though. So I'm hopeful we'll see him again next time we go to Revolver up in Iowa. Maybe Journey Pro. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're just saying. But
maybe
after that, on the pre-show, you had what was scheduled to be on the pre-show, which was the Knockouts Tag Team title match. Again, the Influence versus the Inspiration. And the Influence was chosen by Jamie. Megan and I chose the Inspiration. And the Influence retained. So
1 point for the good guys.
Jamie's on the board. Gotta be honest, I'm getting a little tired of seeing this match, though. It's like they keep going back to this, and it's like, okay. But,
well, I mean, here's the thing, though. You're not going to have to worry about seeing this match anymore, sir.
Yeah. Tell them about that. I saw that yesterday. It's very interesting news if you haven't heard.
Yeah, and there really hasn't been a whole lot of chatter from either party, but the Inspiration are stepping away from wrestling in a joint press release from Impact Wrestling and them. So that's all it was. It's just that, and there's not been anything else yet, so we don't know what they're doing. I'm assuming there's going to be some modeling and some TV work done because, I mean, they're both extremely beautiful and talented women.
Yeah.
Incredibly funny.
Their podcast does really well, so they're good personalities.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, the sky's the limit for those two. Like, I love Jessica McKay. I like Jess McKay.
She's got to be joking me.
Yeah, she's so damn funny.
So
and of
funny.
Course, Cassie Lee's Cassie Lee. So
Cassie Lee is she is incredibly beautiful woman that is, how do I put this politely? I feel like every experience is like a new experience for her at times. It's like, if you ever watch her and Sean Spears, her husband, they did like a cooking thing, whatever, and he was teaching her, and it's like this woman has never seen what a kitchen was before in her life, and it is just like, it was so funny, so hilarious. I don't know if that's by design. If it is, she's a hell of an actress, but
it's great. Yeah, it's
gold. I felt since they got released from WWE that, because there are certain people that you're like, yeah, they got something other than wrestling they can do for sure, right? I think Bray Wyatt's proven that. He's off doing horror movies and shit. I don't know if we'll see him in a ring again anytime soon, And
my understanding, his price is redonkulously high.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing. It's like he's doing what he wants to do right now, and he's getting in that scene, and to make him... to basically, it's like, if you really want me to come wrestle, you got to pay me money. And I can respect that, because, So I wish them the best of luck, but they did not retain. Jamie gets on the board early. And then the show opens up. Straight up banger, of course, from the start here. These three have been kind of going back and forth amongst each other anyway. So you had Jay White versus Steve Macklin versus Chris Sabin. Oh my God.
The highlights of this match were insane.
This match slapped so hard. Macklin is one of those, he was in the Ultimate X match. He was in a bunch of, you're like, he's not really an X, but then he gets those matches and you're like, holy shit, he can do anything. He can go. Very underappreciated wrestler, and you appreciate him very much. You chose him to win. Megan and I lived that too sweet life. We went with Jay White, Switchblade. And the ending was what I expected, but not in the fashion of who did what. So it varies very much a do the finisher, go for the pin. The other person comes from out of the ring, throws them off, throws the person off the person they just did the finisher on, steals the pin. But it was Macklin doing that to Jay White on Sabin, getting the victory. I thought it'd be Jay White doing it to anybody, right? Because that's Jay White's shtick.
That's 2 points for the good.
2 over that way. So it's not looking good for your boy here. J Money Club's trying to represent.
Well on my way to retaining.
I've even got the shirt. Which, by the way, how good does this shirt look? I love the dollar bills in the skull. They're fantastic.
It's decent.
So it's wonderful. So next match was Taya Valkyrie, returning Taya Valkyrie into Impact Wrestling versus Deonna Purrazzo for the Reina de Reinas AAA title. A title, I want to remind you, that Taya has never lost. She vacated it when she signed with WWE.
That's right. I forgot.
Which is
that.
why I
that
chose her to win. You and Megan both chose Deonna, but I'm like, she never lost that title. She's definitely winning it. And very good match. She did win it. So JJ's on the board. So
all right.
Megan's still scoreless here, which yeah, I can't explain how much that makes me happy. And the good thing is that we had a lot of variance between us. We had like the 3 of us all had different stuff all over the board, which is different for some reason. We always end up close to each other, but not today.
Yeah.
Trey Miguel, Mike Bailey, Ace Austin, triple threat for the X Division title. You know what this match was. Flippy, spinny shit central. Jamie and I chose Trey to retain. Megan chose Ace to retake the X Division title. Mike Bailey looked fantastic. He is so hot right now, right? And
he's so hot right now.
I don't know why I keep saying that every show, but it's now a thing.
It's like we got to.
I think I can't not do it. I think is the thing. In the end, Ace Austin, looking like a hoss, got the victory over Trey. I think he's a 4-time X Division title holder now. Not sure.
Yeah, but 3 or 4 or something.
Megan decided to join the party. She's on the board.
Uh-oh.
And then we had big meaty men slapping meat time. It's Jonah versus Tomohiro Ishii. And a thunderous match. Let me just put it that way. This is the stuff that if you like big meaty men, and just like hard slapping action, this was for you. We all picked Jonah to win. We all were wrong. Ishii gets the victory over Jonah. He won it via brainbuster. He had a brain buster to Jonah in the middle of the ring, and it's like, I don't even know what to think anymore. Then we had kind of the wild card, it was the 8-team elimination tag team tournament, which ended up being not nearly as wild as I thought it would have been for an 8-team elimination tournament, right? Once again, cards have changed. Chris Bay was originally supposed to be in it, but then day of, he moved, so they weren't in it anymore. They made a few other tweaks and this and that. But they had Violent by Design, Good Brothers, Heath and Rhino, William Eckert Swan, Arno Moore, a bunch, and some other teams as well. Jamie chose Motor Machine Guns, who originally were supposed to be in it, but they ended up being one of the ones who got scratched as well. They got replaced by...
Which is crap, by the way. Again... One of the teams the team I selected is not even in there.
It was not even in there. It was billed to be in there the day before. I know that. So that is crap. That is unfortunate. You should never pick them, honestly. No spoiler, they didn't win. Because Alex Shelley's not even signed to an AEW contract or an Impact contract, and he wasn't even at this event. So because he was double booked that night. That's why they got scratched. He got double booked, and he's not contract star on Impact, so he went and did that. Go get that money and screw Jamie out of a pick. But Megan and I both chose Violent by Design to retain, and it was fine. I think one of the highlights of this match was Jordan Grace and W. Morrissey teaming up together. I love seeing Jordan Grace because she reminds me a lot of Awesome Kong or Chyna or Beth Phoenix, can play with the boys, sort of thing, very aptly. Violent by Design did retain. So Megan and I both get this. We're all dead even going into the final two matches.
But here's the thing, sir. We threw out Chris Bay versus Eddie Edwards because of this card subject to change, and it wasn't fair. And this happened on this match too. Why aren't we gonna throw this one out?
Well, because there was a bunch of teams you could have chose from, and
Well, obviously, yeah, but again,
I mean, we don't have to throw out Eddie Edwards and Chris Bay. We can keep it in there.
No. I say we get rid of all these cards subject to change.
We're not going to do that.
I wonder why.
You know why, but I was, the Eddie Edwards Chris Bay was a 1-to-1 matchup. That's why we're throwing that one out. Because if you remove one component of that, it drastically changes it. It's being an 8-team elimination scramble. One or two teams doesn't affect it as much.
Yeah, but if one of them's selected to win it, that's not even there. That's my piece.
Okay,
right there.
Well, your objection is duly noted and is filed on record. So I'm keeping the score as it is, though, right there, guys. So we had,
of course you are,
2 matches remaining. Jamie and I chose the same thing, and Megan was different from us in both of these matches. Okay, so we had Tasha Steelz versus Rosemary. Jamie and I both chose Tasha. Tasha won, so we get that point there. And then Moose versus Alexander, which we both chose Alexander. And I don't know what your daughter was thinking, but she chose Moose, and yeah, so it did not win. So it ends the day that Jamie and I are tied. And I'll put an asterisk there. Sure, there's your objection.
Absolutely,
okay? I don't give a shit. Whatever, like I'm like the Eddie Edwards and Chris Bay. Okay, I can understand that. This one here, it's like, oh come on. You should first of all, you should never chose Motion Machine Guns. That was just a bad pick. Period. Just saying. So comes down to it. We had time. So everybody knows how JJ does with time, right? And it's not been good. So I was saying for weeks that this is going to be a half-hour match, right? It's going to be a half-hour banger, blah, 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 all this stuff. So I wanted to be a little more conservative. I'm like, that's probably overreaching, JJ. So I chose 26 minutes and 32 seconds. Jamie chose 19 minutes and 41 seconds.
Originally, I had 22:12 in there.
And that's important because the total time of the match was 23 minutes and 50 seconds.
I mean,
Jamie would have
ran
away, would have gone on this. We don't do that. I have video proof that shows that we've never done that.
I just like doing that.
I know. So your winner, albeit with a call to the
technicality,
whatever, is JJ, because I won by 2 minutes 42 seconds as opposed to 4 minutes and 9 seconds. Give me that belt. Let me switch it over. There she is. Bing. Yes.
First time ever.
Coming back to daddy. Well, I did create it, so I mean.
Coming back? You never won the sub, bitch.
I made it. I am its creator.
So
I had it in my house because I made it. So now I possess it is the thing. So, So the J Money Club has triumphed. Thank you all. Long may I reign. This is going to be the most glorious reign of all because J Money is for the people. I am utterly ecstatic with this. So don't care how I won. I won, goddammit.
Well, I think since there was a technicality, I have a solution.
What is your solution?
One match, winner take all. we pick the winner of the Journey Pro belt. And if we do pick it, whoever picks it is obviously the winner. If both of us are wrong, it will stay with you. But then there is a clear-cut winner.
Do you want to go on what we... If I agree to this, you want to go on what we already determined for our picks?
I believe so. I know I jokingly said one, but I'm gonna go with my original. Yeah.
Okay. I'm good for that. We'll
Okay.
digitally shake on that. So, for those of you who didn't listen to it, we'll tell you. So we have our picks. Oh, I need to email that to DJ right now. I'll do that as soon as we're done here. But I picked, I'm not centered. I picked Christian Rose to walk away as champion. That's who my bracket was. Jamie?
And I picked Dak Draper to take it down.
So we have Dak and Christian. So if it's Christian, I definitively win it. If it's Dak, you do win it. If it's neither one of them, it stays with Daddy.
I mean, if it stayed with Daddy, it'd stay with me because I've owned that thing since its inception.
It stays with me. With me. All right.
And I've had a long
because
run.
I'm a benevolent champion. I am willing to concede to your complaint. As opposed to whenever whenever managers in baseball file a complaint with the office and they're like, yeah, whatever, fuck you, you lost, right? I'm willing to concede to that to be the better man.
I figured I will give you this if we do this. That's where I'm
right. And to be fair, if I really be fair, you didn't get your picks in time anyway, technically.
I mean, I was at a softball tournament with my daughter.
And I did tell you the day before at about 4:00 that the picks were ready to be in.
And I didn't have access to it until after I finally looked at it.
It's a shared content. We have the same email for it.
Well, I know, but last time I tried to do it, I never got a response from you for like hours in order to get into it. So I
don't wake up till noon on a Saturday. What am I supposed to do?
I was texting you like 3:00 in the afternoon.
I don't remember that.
I do.
Anyway, you see the record updated there. I'm putting that in stone, and we're going to go for a provincial playoff. Potential could flip back over to Jamie, could stay over with me. We shall see.
Belongs.
Find out. Yeah, with me, I know. So find out next week.
You're that guy who wins the first time ever. It's like, oh, I'm the best ever. I'm like, dude, I've won like 6 consecutive. Okay, like 5. Sorry, 5 consecutive. 5 consecutive. 5.
And I congratulate you for that. But I currently hold it. Is all I'm saying. It's right there. The funny of this is. The funny of it is that we have, it's like rapid fire succession here because we have Double or Nothing coming up next month. And then Slammiversary is like in July. So it's like 2 months after that. And then, of course, we'll have All Out shortly thereafter. And then we'll have Bound for Glory shortly thereafter.
And then we'll have Full Gear.
And then you'll have like 4 months till the next one. So it's like, it's weird how they space them out. It's kind of like whatever. So that was Rebellion. A very good pay-per-view. Very enjoyable. Do yourself a favor. And I don't care. I know there's people on here. They're like, fuck Impact and all that shit. Whatever. Go watch that Alexander Moose match, if nothing else. 24 minutes of glorious wrestling.
Technical, too. Like
everything.
Super technical.
It was paced wonderfully, had emotion. The family was involved. Josh Alexander came out with his kid as a mini me, wearing the singlet and the headpiece.
You already knew he was winning when he came out like that. As soon as you saw it,
you can't bring the kid out and not win. Let's be real. They already took it away from him in front of that kid. So, but
that's true.
It was fantastic. I highly recommend. If nothing else, watch that match. A lot of this was great, though. It was good stuff.
It was. All
right. Now, we usually take this time to talk about numbers, right? Which you made you you called me up. You talked to me a few days ago, and you're like, I think we really do that more for ourselves than anything else because we don't really watch WWE. So what do we care? Spoiler alert: last week, Raw was down for the lowest since January, and SmackDown dropped below 2 million, lowest since last July. That's not good. Dynamite numbers are pretty kind of steady, right? Rampage steady. So, what does it matter? Nothing's competing head to head anymore. So, Jamie had a wonderful idea. So, we're not going to do the numbers bit every week. We're going to do something a little different. Jamie?
Correct. So now we are going to do a new segment. Don't be scared, people. It's not going to be crazy. It's pretty simple. We are just going to do a nice little spotlight on some independent wrestlers every week. So you guys can learn about some new wrestlers that are out there that you might not be aware of. And this is a great opportunity for you to send us some wrestlers that you know of that we might not know. And we can do a spotlight on them. So we figured that we would open it up with a team. I'm doing a tag team.
Okay.
That is going against Bussy at Journey Pro. They are friends of the show. They are the Howletts. If you don't know who the Howletts are, you need to see them any way you can. Right now, they are primarily at Journey Pro. They are also at St. Louis Anarchy, Lucha Libre and Laughs, Triple L out in Colorado, and they're also doing what's now called Central States Wrestling. Those are the main ones that they are doing at this time. They have done Rocky Mountain Pro, but they haven't been doing that recently. But those are their main ones. Look them up. Fear the Howletts on Twitter. They also have a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube. Like, they are worth a look. Anaya and Hoodie Howlett. Go for it. You will appreciate what you see there. They're just badassery personified. Hashtag heel shit.
Heel shit. Heel shit.
They have taken our moniker and ran with it, which is amazing. So I have to give them props. And you all need to expand your horizons past AEW. It's okay. These guys have been on Ring of Honor. They have been in bigger places. These are legit dudes that people are sleeping on, and you need to see them.
Yeah, and Hoodie's been in the game a little bit longer than Brother has, than Anaya has. Anaya comes from a football background. For those of you who have not watched any of our past interviews, we have a few of them down there. So he's come from a football background and got into this later on, but extremely talented, both of them, students of the game very much. And I saw earlier this week they're announced for a show in Texas again. I don't remember the promotion, but I know that they're so it looks like they're kind of expanding out a little bit too. They've been based out of Kansas City for a while now, or previously out of Denver, which is where Rocky Mountain Pro comes in, and as well as Triple L. But yeah, I mean, you're doing yourself a disservice if you have not seen and don't go seek out the Howletts. They also have had singles matches. You can go on YouTube and Google either one of them. You'll see fantastic matches they've had individually with Effie. And I had one with Allie Catch and others as well. They have some great matches out there. Friends of the show, yes, but
they've gone against the West Coast Wrecking Crew of New Japan Strong. They've had great ones with the Premier that have been local. They've also had the Infantry, which is Sean Dean and Charlie Bravo.
Yep.
Like, they've gone against some big ass names out there, and they are legit.
Yeah. They've done Grindhouse. They've gone up against who are the they're kind of partnered with him in a faction for a while, but the Regal Twins.
The Regal Twins. The Royal Blood, whatever.
What do they go by? Whatever they go by.
Regal Twins. I think
is it Regal Twins? I can't remember. It always
they're New Japan Strong.
Right. So and you would be surprised if you to know who they have gone up against and what they have done. So if you're not familiar with them, check them out. Give them a follow on Twitter too, because individually on Twitter, these guys are hilarious.
Yes. Anaya is just ridiculous online.
Naya and his ongoing feud with Guy Snacks. is worth the price of admission. Not gonna lie,
it's the best. It's the best.
They even tried to quell it in preparation of All Good Things Flow Into the City, and I quickly put a stop to that. You know, like nope.
Yeah, nope. We're cool. We're not cool ever.
Well, that's good. That's good. I didn't know who you were going with there. I know Jamie's kind of preparing these here, and I make him not tell me ahead of time. So, hashtag heel shit. God love the Howletts. So, if you're not familiar, familiarize yourself with them. You'll thank us later.
Yep, and follow them on Twitter at Fear the Howletts. If you want to do them separately, it's at Hoodie LCG and then Wildcard Anaya.
Most definitely. So I'll include that stuff down below. You can click down there and check it out. So
very nice.
All right. Dynamite was last night. We're going to talk about that. We had some pretty bonkers matches on Dynamite. A bonkers match I never thought I'd get to see though happened last Friday on Rampage. And that'd be the match that opened the show. Adam Cole, baby, versus Tomohiro Ishii. Ishii all up in this bitch. It was a Owen Hart tournament qualifier match, and man, it was fun. I mean, Adam Cole's, one of the best in the game right now, right? And Ishii is a joy to watch for those of us that don't regularly get to see a lot of New Japan. So, not the similar styles, as in the Jonah match, so it was a little bit of a different match, and it had a flair of Jay White interference for the victory for Adam Cole, but still very enjoyable. That very much was, I would say, the best highlight from the show. You had Eddie Kingston, Daniel Garcia apparently had a bunch of time cut for the TV a run of it. I don't know why that is. I have thoughts about this feud, which I will save for about 15, 20 minutes. So hold on there. I'm going to get to it. I have things to say. Serpentico, Lance Archer, you can guess what happened there. The main event was Jade Cargill versus Marina Shafir, right? Marina looked so much better than she did before.
Oh, good.
Infinitely better. The crowd still could give a shit about this match as a whole, though. And I don't know if it was Marina, but it was Jade too. Jade wasn't getting the pop either. The crowd was just kind of like, okay. And I fear that's the problem with Jade. They propped her up. They got her the belt. I didn't feel like that was the wrong thing, even though they took it away. They didn't give it. I think they should have given it to Ruby, my girl Ruby Soho. Hey, Ruby. I don't know. The crowd just didn't care. The crowd did not care one bit about it. And it's a Pittsburgh crowd. It's not like it's a bad wrestling crowd. So that's a good Bruno San Martino's hometown, for God's sake, right?
Here's the problem. That's Britsburg, and Brit wasn't wrestling.
It wasn't, so I'm not going to go out there and say that, any other woman would, whatever, but it didn't have any life in it. And then they were so focused on the celebration in the Baddies Club through most of the match, to her credit, Marina Shafir fit very well. She still needs to have her character have some work to it. If you come out,
she needs a manager. Well,
a match would be great because, look at the way Hook does the come out and say nothing, kick ass and leave thing, right? That's over as fuck. And it's basically the same gimmick that they're doing with Marina, just in a different fashion. And it's not cool or hip like Hook is. It's kind of that, silent Eastern Bloc killer, which could work, to your point, I think, with a manager. Maybe her husband. Tully Blanchard would be fantastic, as a matter of fact. That's a good call. So anyway, I just wanted to say that, they gave the women the main event on Rampage, which was good, but it just kind of like, meh. Jade Cargill, of course, won, right? It is what it is. So that was Rampage. Like I said, Tomohiro Ishii was cool. We got him Cole. Dynamite. Let's talk about Dynamite, because lots happened on Dynamite last night.
Dynamite was a show.
I certainly enjoyed this. Last week's Dynamite I felt was kind of like meh, This week's was
not this one.
Was
no.
This week slapped.
You're really liking the slapped. It's the second
I
time you
don't
said
know.
slap.
I keep saying everything fucks, and I'm like, I should stop cussing so much, you know. So I'm trying to find different words, and I don't remember where it was, but is this okay? So I got it from this YouTube channel I follow. It's this guy. It's a local guy actually, but he's a gravel cyclist, and he's showing all these different gravel routes. And they were on the Rock Island Trail after the new expansion happened over there in Lee Summit, and Raytown. There's a brewery right there, right? So he gets there, and he's like with his wife, and they're talking about it. And he keeps saying, this slaps," and so it got osmosis into my vernacular. I apologize.
I don't know if the kids say slap now. I think they've already moved on.
How can they? I just found out about this shit. What do you mean? Fuck this. Let's move on. Dynamite.
You're a 40-year-old man, sir. That's what's fly. All right. Well, anyway.
I have my own t-shirt, though. So there.
Yeah. I mean, I do, too. I just haven't bought it.
Well, I know.
All right. So they open up. And we're going to run through the entire card, but I really want to dive into a few of these, and this is definitely one I want to dive into. Mm-hmm. They open up with the Owen Hart Foundational Tournament Qualifier of Dax Harwood versus Cash Wheeler. So Dax and Cash going one-on-one, mano-y-mano. And the winner was Dax Harwood. I do want to come back to this because this match was amazing. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. That's all I got. I mean, I could just say it like 18 times.
We're gonna put a giant pin in this. We'll be back to this one for sure.
Yeah. I had a pretty solid CM Punk promo. I want to get back to that. Then you had a Scorpio Sky thing. Then Brian Danielson, John Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta versus the Factory. Wheeler Yuta got a massive pop.
Hometown boy, man. Yeah.
Hometown boy got the pin.
This ain't WWE.
Nick Camarado. Yeah, so there's not a whole lot to go over in this match other than
it was good.
The Blackpool Combat Club.
He's got a now they have a Blackpool Combat Club theme. It is what Wheeler Yuta comes out to. So they still have Mox and Danielson come out separately, but Regal's now coming out with young Mr. Wheeler. You know, and he's got they have a Blackpool Combat Club themed music and all that stuff, which of course, Fantasy Booking Island, that leads me to believe there's plans to evolve this past Danielson and Mox, right? You know, so that's
more recruits,
right? More recruits. It's more of Regal's stable than it is because Mox and Danielson can come and go. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Mm-hmm. You had a kerfuffle between Ruby Soho and Britt Baker, Ruby. Jamie Hayter, and Tony Storm. I just had a little thing. It looks like they're going to have a tag match against each other at some point. Mm-hmm. Cool. Shivani. Yeah, this whole Jungle Boy thing with Christian was weird and just uncomfortable.
They're slow playing Christian's heel turn or something, right?
Yeah.
And I wish I'd get to the point because I almost feel, this is going to sound bad. I almost feel like it's doing a disservice to keep the belts on them at this point. Because I don't believe they're going to lose it any time, you know, even though they should lose it every time. If, you know, I don't know. Everything just feels kind of off.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I like Jungle Boy and I like Luchasaurus. I just don't like him as champion right now.
No,
and no one else does. Like, they are the meaningless champion right now. And I hate to say that.
I mean, give it back to the Lucha Brothers. And I know Ray got hurt, but give it to Lucha Brothers or give it to... It makes the most sense to give it to FTR, honest to God.
Give it to FTR. The baddest team on the planet.
100%.
All right. After this, you had Lance Archer with Jake the Snake Roberts. Nate Roberts versus Wardlow. Ward Dog got the W. Big meaty men slapping meat. That's what this match was. It was solid. After this,
Wardlow's selling more. He's learned how to sell more. I do like that.
He is. He's not a bad wrestler. Then after that, you had a Jericho Appreciation Society thing with. We'll put a pin in that.
Okay, all right.
Because thoughts.
You have thoughts too on this. Good, because I definitely want to come back and say my piece. Okay.
After this, you had the Serena Deeb Hikaru Shida match, and oh boy, this match was bonkers good. Like, anytime I get to see Serena Deeb in a match and Hikaru Shida together, you know it's just going to be lightning in a bottle. But wow, like, all right, you know what?
Let's
We're
talk
going to
about it.
spend some time on this
Let's
one
tell
right
us now.
now.
Go for it. Yeah.
So, Serena Deeb gets the W. But here's the thing that really popped me. Like, this is the thing that popped me the most.
Yeah.
Serena Deeb is known as the woman of 1,000 holds. There was a man who was also known as the man of 1,000 holds. Do you remember who that man was?
It was Dean Malenko, person who trained Serena Deeb.
Yes. Do you know what Dean Malenko's finisher was?
It was a cloverleaf submission hold.
Yes, it sure was. And how did she win?
By a cloverleaf. I have that written down.
By
Don't
a cloverleaf. Like, that was just a huge tip of the hat. Like, she is the woman of 1,004 holds. And that was just the icing on the cake. She doesn't always have to use a Serenity Lock. And oh my God, like, this match had everything. First off, you had Hikaru Shida in jean shorts, which go her. Like, 'cause she was ready for a street fight.
It's a street fight, right? That's her casual attire was like a jumper
Daisy
onesie.
Dukes and
okay, sure, whatever.
But you know what? I was like, whatever. And then, like, here's Deeb, like, in normal attire. But man, this match was back and forth, heavy on, little things. Like, we had kendo sticks, we had chairs, we had chalk in the eyes.
That's the thing. That's it. There was 3 chairs, 2 kendo sticks, a bag of talcum powder,
and a partridge in a pear tree.
That's all the weapons you had. There was no tables, there was no barbed wire, no tacks, which JJ loves him some tacks, but in a way, it was refreshing. You didn't need to have all that. These 2 have magic by themselves. So you don't need to put a lot of extra onto it, but I remember thinking of this as like, we haven't seen a single table or anything. It's like, we don't need to, we really don't. And it was better for it. I really think that.
And I think also I have to give AEW a lot of props right here. Damned whatever Becky Lynch says. This was a really good moment for them because this put Serena Deeb in the forefront for a title contention against Thunder Rosa, and they did do a cut to Thunder Rosa, like solidified it. Yep, there you go. That is that Serena Deeb is gonna be Thunder Rosa's next feud, and I love the idea of this.
I am for that. I will say this about Becky's tweet. For those of you who haven't caught it, Becky tweeted something. She's throwing, basically she was doing like a neg, throwing shade at the women's division in AEW, and she said they're not as good as us and blah blah blah. The one thing that she did say is they don't have the same exposure. I
totally agree with that statement too,
because this was the only women's match of the night. Once again, you had the thing with like Ruby Soho is finally back on TV again. Yay, and her and Toni Storm are going to, which we want to see that match, We want to see more Jamie Hayter. We want to see more Statlander. We want to, exposure is very true. I feel the women are just as good, if not better, in AEW, just giving them that shot. So we shall see.
Mm-hmm. Right after the women's matches, we had a few promos. Match.
I threw you off by asking for more than one match. That's my fault. That's on me.
Yes. So after the women's singular match, we had a few promos, plural. There's 3 of them. One of them I want to put a pin in for just a second because you know what? We have to dive into it because Heather Librarian would probably get really upset if we didn't. And I got to do whatever I can to make sure Heather Librarian is a happy woman.
Do not anger the librarian. Absolutely not.
No. So first off, we have MJF on the phone. He's talking to Lindsay, he's talking to Lexi. He kept calling her Lindsay. I thought that was hilarious. I wrote that down. And he gets on the phone. He's like, "Hey, big man, you want to make 6 figures real fast for one match?" And then hangs up. And he's like, "Oh yeah." It's like, "All right, we got your next opponent." And you can't teach that.
Which is funny because he says he's somebody who's smarter than you. He's somebody who's more experienced than you, Wardlow. And he's also somebody who's taller than you.
Yes. So
And
W. Morrissey is going to be the guy.
ironically, who's going out with Lexi Nair. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, ironic, don't you think?
Just a little too ironic. I really do think.
I don't know if it's like rain on a wedding day.
Let's move on before we get deep in this, okay?
Okay. All right. So, like Black Fly and New Chardonnay. The next one is. God damn, I can't help myself.
Yeah, I know you couldn't.
So on Friday's Rampage, you're gonna get Swerve Strickland versus Darby Allin and Owen Hart. They had a little tiff, Swerve's house, and then Darby's like, "Well, this is actually Darby's house, and everybody's gonna find out this is gonna be Darby's tournament." Darby's not winning this damn thing. I am sorry. I like Darby, but Darby needs to grow before he can win a tournament.
He needs to do more than get beat up for 15 minutes and then flurry win. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
The trend would point towards Swerve if you look at who's in the tournament right now.
We'll find out Friday if he even qualifies. He better. That's my thinking. Like,
well, they are loading
Swerve
up,
needs to be in it.
And they're loading up Friday's show too.
Mm-hmm.
Loading up. They have like a 6-woman. They have the whole baddie section, which is this I like with Jade. So they're taking Jade with Kiera Hogan, former multiple-time Impact Tag Team Champion, with Red Velvet, who is ironic because the two of them had big heat when she first came in, but making them into like their own faction. They're going up against Willow Nightingale, Sky Blue, and I can't remember the third person. So Willow getting good TV time. I like to see that. Mm-hmm. This is good though, I think, for Jade. Put her in a faction. Cool.
Yep. I'm for it. I am for it. All right, so match 5 was not much of a match at all, unfortunately. This was probably my dud of the night because it just wasn't much. I wanted more out of it, I guess. I don't know. I was left wanting. This was the Super Elite, which is Adam Cole, Bebe, Red Dragon, and the Young Bucks versus Dante Martin, Brock Anderson, Lee Johnson, and the Varsity Blondes.
Undisputed Elite.
Undisputed. What did I say? Super Elite?
He said Super Elite. That's okay.
Sorry. Undisputed.
This match was really for selling their new Undisputed Elite t-shirts. Literally, that was it. Which is fine. It has some fun spots. It has some fun spots in it. It was, it was short though, and it's whatever. The only thing is, like, there was a moment, a monicum, where it looked like the Young Bucks were going to super kick when they were all lined up at the end after they're posing in their shirts. It looked like the Young Bucks were going to super kick Red Dragon on either side of Adam Cole. That's going to happen, but I think we've got to wait till Kenny. I think it's going to be after Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that. All right, so after this, it was time for the main event. And man, this was a good main event. Jamie's a sucker for a good ladder match.
I know you are. I like that defying shit. I have a hard time thinking if I like this one or the first match better. For very different reasons. I tend to lean more towards the ladder match, so I'm going towards that. But yeah, it's tough.
So Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara. Let's just do this one because I want to end on FTR.
Okay, we'll finish on FTR. So let's do this and we'll talk about some of those little promos that we had to touch base on.
Actually, we might end on some of the promos because they're really solid.
Well, we'll end where we end.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So this match was 100% role reversal, like we've talked about. Like there's been some role reversal going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it totally came to fruition on this thing right here. It was insane. I was not expecting that whatsoever, but Scorpio Sky, 100% the face of this. The face. Didn't exactly get the largest pop when he came out. And Philly's usually good about telling you that. But he got a huge ass pop at the end, man. Like, people were getting behind him. Like, it was the Rock moment where people are Rocky.
Right, it's turned that kind of moment and waking up, and yeah,
it definitely had that vibe. huge heat for Sammy, which is great. And the commentators were even backing that up too. So they're officially announcing him as a heel now
Oh,
instead of like a
100%.
tweener, which is really good. I mean, they're just digging into it. Something that one Cody Rhodes would never do, you know, when the crowd tells you that they think you suck.
I'm never turning heel. Brr.
So dumb.
So dumb.
But this match, holy shit, like Ty Conti got involved. You had a Paige Van Zant sighting
And
because
Paige
of it.
didn't look bad. She's been
No,
training, I
she
know,
looks
so she
actually
looked pretty
damn good.
good.
Of course, you had Dan Lambert there.
Dan Lambert got a massive kick in the nuts from Tay Conti, so I will say
like
that.
a big one. Yeah, it was.
Tay looked good as far, and I don't know, she plays the villain wonderfully.
She does.
I don't know what it is about her, just in her, but she just goes for it, and it works. And
Well, she's got crazy eyes.
She does.
When she busts out the crazy, like all of us know what I'm talking about. Like homegirl's got crazy eyes. Like there's dudes who got crazy eyes. She's definitely got them too, and like she busted them out tonight too.
The one thing I was interested to see is that you could tell that they're making Sky face because, you know, Lambert did what Lambert did, and Lambert's kind of independent of all this, right? He got kicked in the balls, and everybody loved it because who doesn't love seeing his dad Lambert get kicked in the balls? But Ethan Page, who escorted out to ringside with Dan Lambert, Scorpio Sky, didn't get involved in the match at all.
Not one bit. I love that.
If he was heel, he would have been there for sure. That's how you know it's that way. So some of the spots in this match, I like the reversal of. So Sammy tried to basically recreate his cutter spot he did on Cody, and it was caught in midair by Scorpio, who did a cutter on him, which was fantastic. I think that was
beautiful.
That was the point when everybody. It's a Philly crowd. You mentioned, you know how Philly crowds are. I think that was the point where they officially jumped line, and we're like, "All right, we're in."
I agree. I totally agree with that. Also, I thought this was hilarious too. As soon as Sky pulled out a ladder covered in barbed wire, instantly that the crowd ECW.
Oh, this was a prototypical Philly crowd. They had a fuck 'em up Scorpio, fuck 'em up chant going, ECW chants, and what happens to him as soon as he pulls that ladder in?
He's the one who gets Spanish flied onto it.
Looked so good. Oh,
it did look really good.
Sammy can do a fantastic standing Spanish fly. I love it. Love me some Spanish flies.
Yeah, oh my god, this match was so good. And you have your winner and new
champions all over the place.
That's Scorpio Sky. He gets greeted by none other than Frankie Kazarian. They shake hands because he promised that he would be first in line. So we will see a Scorpio Sky versus Frankie Kazarian here shortly.
Good. If you're moving on from this, fine. In a way, not a lot of this made sense. The match. The match was fantastic. But you just took the belt off of him. After he got the belt, you took it off him, then you give it back to. Okay. Sure, but why? You know, why'd you have to do that? Just to get a banger of a match out of there? I mean, okay, sure.
Yeah, I'm just here for the free food at this point for that one. I'm like, I don't get it. I mean, and they're still not done because they still want the mixed tag match. Will probably be Ethan.
They should definitely do it with Ethan and Paige, because that way they need to move Scorpio on. Is my point, right?
Yeah, and I think they will
move him on. You have the Kaz angle, and then you can have the Redeemer come back, because that's what I really want to see. Miro versus Scorpio. Yes. That match would be fan-frickin-tastic.
Yes, I want Miro back on my TV screen ASAP.
100%. So what do you want to do?
I need him in my life.
you need the Redeemer in your life?
I do. I need to be redeemed.
I just miss his feud with God. I want to know who won that.
Yeah.
You want to do
All right.
promos or match? What do you want to do? What do you want?
Well, let's do this. We'll do promo, match, promo. And let's just go ahead and go right into the not the one you're thinking, because I want to end on that one.
Oh,
Because
I
I
was
think we're both
getting
going to
ready to
go
tear
in.
it an asshole.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
nope.
House of Black. Let's do House of Black.
House of Black. House of Black comes out in black, like it's all black, and then spotlights show Fuego del Sol, poor Fuego, just dead on the
You
entrance ramp.
killed Fuego.
You bastards. And then like they're getting ready to take off his mask, and the next thing you know, they cut to somebody standing in the ring, and it's Alex Abrahantes. You could tell by the voice.
Yeah, the
Instantly.
demon Alex Abrahantes, or whatever the hell his whole shtick is, right? You know?
Yeah. And he's talking. Like the guy in the ring, head down, just talking.
I knew at that point what was up. I did, but
yeah, I had a sneaking suspicion as well. But then here comes the House of Black into the ring, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh, we just want you in the ring because then we can do to you what you always do to us. And then cue Pentagon's music, and then cue Pac the bastard. I know I was just went in dramatic pause there. And then here comes Alex Abrahantes out onto the entrance ramp. So who's in the ring? Who? None other than the returning Ray Fenix, ladies and gentlemen. His elbow is okay.
That's how you get a pop.
Shit.
He got the pop for sure.
Huge pop.
Oh, I'm so happy to see.
And the thing is, too, he's wearing all white, which I love that, because now you have Penta in all black, you have him in all white. It's also very much an imagery because he is the savior, the one in all white. I know Heather will be all over it, yin and yang.
She's gonna dive deep into it, but it's great.
And Alex Abrahantes, if you notice, was wearing a half white, half black coat and half white, half black pants, and they're offset. So is again for those two guys there. So Death Triangle is fully back in, and we are going to get some Death Triangle versus the House of Black. And I'm excited for that, but I was really, 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 really wanting that Julia turn right there.
I hear you. Here's my thing. So Julia had another match on Dark Elevation, one of the dark shows this week against Statlander, and it looked good. It was a good put up by her. Eye makeup's still expanding even further. They even keep talking about it, and it looks like it keeps moving on. It keeps growing. I don't know what's going on. They keep mentioning it. So my opinion is the worst thing they can do is rush that, right? Throw it in there when it doesn't make sense. Right now, it doesn't make sense. They're playing the long game with it because they basically want to get through this storyline, I feel. After Double or Nothing, they should be done with the whole Death Triangle, House of Black angle, I believe, right? It's about a month away. I think that'll give them enough time to kind of flush this out, have a big old payoff match at which I'm all for, especially with Phoenix now back in the mix. I am super all for. I just want to see Phoenix and Buddy Matthews together in the ring.
Oh,
I think everybody does, right? So I think once you're done with that, then you can focus in because he's been dropping those teasers, about this, and her eye slowly growing, right? So I think after they're done with the Death Triangle bit, because in a way it does a disservice to them if you're pulling the focus away from Penta and Phoenix and Pac, it's a disservice to them because they're getting the big rub against the House of Black right now. So that's my thought. After Double or Nothing, you can pull on Julia. But it's coming. I know it's got to be coming. There's no way it's not coming.
Yeah. All right. So now I do want to talk about another quick promo, and I thought it was really good. And that's CM Punk's promo.
Yep. CM Punk was on commentary for the opening match, by the way.
In a Bret Hart hoodie.
There was lots of Heart Foundation imagery in that first match too.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to talk about the match first because they tie together.
Let's talk about the match.
Yeah,
You want to take it?
Match was up your alley. Catch as catch can, and as I said, I appreciate a lot of that. Usually, I'm more flippy, spinny, luchador style or crazy, stupid, dumb shit, But I appreciate all of that, and everybody. First of all, they come out together, basically different,
Yep.
But at the same time, and it felt like one of those. Oh, it's not the right word, I know. But it felt like more like one of those old-timey, something you'd see in like Mid-South in 87 sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's the way these guys have that throwback appeal to them. And my God, they played it off so wonderfully. The crowd was definitely into it. Back and forth, lots of technical stuff going on there. There was maybe an accidental poke to the eye at one point in time. So, tempers get a little flared. Led to a pile driver on your tag team partner, which tempers flare. And, it's like they're writing this masterful story as they're going through with it. And it came down to the end. And both of them kind of just going back and forth. It's fantastic to watch all in all. But it comes down to the end. And these guys are both wearing Heart Foundation themed trunks, right? And it comes to the end, and Dax is going to do a sharpshooter on Cash. And he pauses. Cardinalson, right? Pauses. Doesn't know if he wants to do it, right? Because he was working over his knee, and this is his tag team partner, right? And then after a moment, goes for it. He's going to do it, but he gets, sneaky pin time, goes for the small package. 1, 2, Dax shifts the weight back over, gets the momentum. 1, 2, 3, Dax advance. Both men break down in tears, emotional. It was a very emotional match, honestly, just to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It was very good.
So the technical wrestling fan in me, which I think I've professed is the majority of me as a wrestling fan, this match was amazing. Like, if you are not sure if you like technical wrestling, watch this match. That's all I gotta say. Watch this match,
and then you'll know because
clinic.
Yep,
beautiful. The storytelling alone in this match was just, you had friends legit wrestling each other and competing against each other with love and care for each other. Like they didn't do anything mischievous on purpose, as we know, the eye poke possibly, but it's just one of those things. Like, God, this match,
I mean,
it had this is awesome chance. Like, oh my God.
It had throwbacks to some of Brett and Owen's matches they had together when they were both, it had, which FTR is very adamant that they do that more times than not. They'll pay homage to a certain match or a certain situation or a certain group of people, or whatever it may be. And it definitely had that same feeling for me as a kid, somebody who grew up watching that when I was young.
Yeah, it was like, it was my match of the night. And that's saying something because that ladder match was amazing. This was my match.
I don't want to pick just one. I'm calling it a tie.
Like, this match, was so good. And then right after, you had CM Punk, calling out Page. Adam Hangman and Page.
Well, he was on commentary, and then they had made the announcement as soon as the match was over, and they put it on the Titantron there. They put on the video board that it's conditioned. Put on the video board there that main event Double or Nothing, Hangman Page versus CM Punk for the world title. And Hanger, if you did not know, had COVID. He came down with COVID. He mentioned that earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't going to be there. So how do they get the rub for this match? Well, just give CM Punk a microphone because he just does his thing, right?
He did.
I mean, we figured this was going to be the main event of Double or Nothing. We really did.
Yeah, and if you didn't, you're kind of dumb. Sorry. No offense.
Yep. Do you think, and this is
Maybe
super early prediction world, but do you think they're going to take the belt off of Hanger?
Yes, this is the moment.
I do too. I believe it is too.
CM Punk equals ratings. CM Punk as a champion equals a lot of ratings.
Well, plus you're going to have CM Punk. The next major pay-per-view is All Out in Chicago, maybe United Center. We'll see. Hopefully not. I like the Now Arena. I kind of like it. You know, it's like their unofficial home base, right? You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, and you can lead into any vast variety of things. What I'm thinking of is either going to be a returning Kenny Omega, because it's rumored that he might be coming back shortly after Forbidden Door, or Adam Cole, or some mix thereof. Oh, don't forget you got Moxley and Danielson hanging out here.
You also have MJF again.
MJF again. That's back in Chicago.
Yeah, they have lots of people
angles.
that could be up for this.
You have angles galore. Maybe even Wardlow by then. Probably not. But
probably not. He won't be ready for that.
About
Maybe TNT by then.
About a year out. He's about a year out, I would say.
Yeah, I want to see him and Miro.
I want to see Miro. That's takeaway is we want us some goddamn Miro. What we don't want is some fucking Jericho Appreciation Society. So let's end on this. Let's do it. Let's get it out.
All right, I'm gonna let you end it because I just want to say this. This is all I'm gonna say. I'm lying. I know I'm gonna say more, but as a lifelong Jerichoholic, like I have been a ride or die with Chris Jericho for a long, long, long time, and this fucking sucks. It is god awful. It makes me not want him on my TV screen. Like legit right now, Chris Jericho is just an entrance song. That's all he is now. That's all he's pigeonholed himself into at this point.
Which is a shame because he's in some of the best shape he's been in the past 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at this group, and on the surface, you're like, okay, it's like a different variant. It's kind of like the glam rock version of the Inner Circle. Okay, that could have some angles right to it. I don't care one bit about any of this. Jake Hagar never puts a shirt on. That bothers the fuck out of me. I don't know why. It does. Daniel Garcia should not be allowed near a microphone. And you should be better, Daniel Garcia. Your wrestling is top notch and your mic skills are hot garbage. Okay? You can dress up 2.0 however you want. They are never going to be a different character. And you can't make me believe they're serious with whatever stupid fuck-ass names you're giving them now. Okay? You want to taste? You want to taste? Shut up. You're from Toronto. Okay? You're not part of the Sopranos. Shut up. I don't know what... There's no rub between Jericho and Eddie. I don't know why this is a thing that they need to try and push off in my face. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. Like Eddie and CM Punk, heat. Real heat, right? You know? That I want to see. You know? Shit, you can put these three up. I like Eddie with Santana and Ortiz. I like the fact that Diamante's like adding them, going, need another partner for your 5-on. You know, I love this. LAX Reborn? Sure, let's do it. Let's go. I'm down for this. I don't give one shit about this. There's no buzz, there's no feel, there's no heat on anything with this here. And I don't get it. They have to like go through the same, you know, they keep missing their spots. Jericho and Eddie are missing spots and having to redo the promo halfway through it. It's like, come on. And then you go backstage later on and there's a fight and you got 2.0 doing their, Vinny Pisano thing. Hey, come over here, camera guy. And they've beaten up everybody, but they're holding Eddie Kingston and Jericho does a fireball from his hand. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? I don't understand any of this. And you're giving too much TV time to this when I could see another women's match and a promo for somebody else. Anybody else.
Yeah.
Where's Miro? Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I'm
Oh, it really bothered as good as the episode was, this thing bothered the shit out of me.
Yeah, and then Jericho sitting back in the chair and his eyes all big afterwards, like, bro.
Yeah. Overselling much? I mean, what do we... Once again, I don't care. I don't get it.
Shame on you, Chris Jericho.
You could do better. I believe in you, Jericho. I believe in all of you. We can fix this. Just run the fuck away from this, whatever this is.
He's my number 2 wrestler of all time.
Well,
and that's in danger right now.
He's still Jericho. He is.
Is he though? I mean, this shit's dumb.
It's
like,
really dumb.
Let me just retread the inner circle with these new guys, and we'll call it the Jericho Appreciation Society, and people are gonna love it. People fucking hate it.
And we're sports entertainers. That was funny for a hot minute, right? If even a hot minute, maybe a hot 30 seconds. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd rather see Daniel Garcia in the Blackpool Combat Club, where he doesn't have to fucking talk, right? 2.0's fine doing the stuff that they've been doing, right? Their shtick was getting over as kind of like the shticky guys, right? Which is fine. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta be shtick. It's cool, right? I mean, let us know what you guys think. Is there any redeeming qualities to any of this? There's not. But
are we just overreacting? Are we just overreacting?
Because we really don't like this. So if we're overreacting, let us know. Give us a shout, comment, tweet, whatever. Let us know.
Yeah.
All right. So now that's off my chest. And the belt is squarely in my possession.
Technically.
Well, I'm going to get it physically later on, but that's okay.
Hold it for a day.
You
might hold it just for a day.
No.
Oh my god.
My name is not Dakota Kai. No, that is not going to happen.
They're calling you Raquel Gonzalez.
Raquel Gonzalez. No, Dakota Kai's a more apt thing. She's only ever held the tag title.
That's true, Dakota. Yeah, I'll call you Dakota.
Yeah, Raquel held the women's title for a while. So anyway, yeah.
Yep. Next episode, I'm gonna call him Dakota the entire time.
You're gonna see. We're gonna win. Remember, it's on record here. Dak Draper, Jamie gets the belt back by a technicality. He gets the asterisk. JJ gets Christian Rose or anybody else. Anybody besides those, the belt stays with me. So we shall see what happens. Join us tonight, tomorrow. For those of you who are going to be there, give us a holler, give us a shout. We will definitely be there with chairs. Bring a chair if you're coming. Their chairs are stuck in a port somewhere off of LA's coast, is what I heard. Supply chain issues. So anyway, it's going to be a great time. Keep an eye out. Next week, we're going to go over everything. Will be lots of talk about the tournament and a ton of Effie and Bussy talk. Be forewarned. But all sorts of other good stuff happening. We're gonna take JDX and maybe some other wrestlers for barbecue. Get his unfiltered first opinion of Kansas City barbecue.
Yes, so I sent him a message saying we're gonna go to Gates, but I'm like, man, maybe we should do Jack Stack. But I'm like, no, Gates is that is the quintessential Kansas City experience.
Here's why I say we do, and watching this, we already have this figured out. But here's why I say you do. Find out where he's at. Are we gonna pick him up at the arena, or is he staying at a hotel or somebody's place where we're gonna pick him up? I mean, let's do that. Find out that first, because if you're gonna be with the arena, Gates is right down the street. If he's like staying at Chris's place or something, like that, well, Jack Stack's technically closer, right? So let's play that by ear. Either way, the man's never had Kansas City barbecue, and that's a travesty, which we're going to rectify. So, but we'll give you
best barbecue on the planet. Fight me if you think otherwise.
We're going to give you full recap of everything that happened here. If you want to follow along, you can do so for free on Twitch, twitch.tv/journey2anarchy, or Zicky Dice's channel, twitch.tv/Zicky Dice. He'll be co-streaming it, so please check us out. We'll be in the crowd. We'll be there. And, we'll be back next week. Go over a pretty bonkers card that Tony's putting together. So next week on Dynamite, excuse me. So Rampage, we already made mention of a couple of the matches, but you also have this. You have like 5 matches this Friday. I don't know how they're doing this. I think they're making it up because Rampage is going to be a NHL playoffs start next week. NBA playoffs are already going on. Rampage is going to be shuffled around a lot over the next 2 months. So they're making up for it early. They're not only are they having the match we talked about earlier with Darby and Swerve, they've got Trent Beretta versus Samoa Joe for the ROH TV title. And then on Dynamite next Wednesday, Deonna Purrazzo and Mercedes Martinez for the undisputed ROH Women's Champion.
Oh, man.
Deonna in AEW ring. Let's fucking go.
Please.
So we'll be back here. We'll give you all the details. Stick around. Follow, like, subscribe, all those things like we always say. But we do appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Jamie, I'll give it to you if you have anything else. If not, take us home.
Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you guys can get every time that we release stuff, because we also do interviews, and that like really helps. It really means a lot. Don't forget to subscribe though. And if you're not down with Total Spotfest, I got 4 words for you: Dakota level title reign.
I'm sorry, I had you muted there. I missed that.
I just said that your title reign is gonna be for.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next time. All right.
Peace. Go Dak.